And I promised engineering and the sciences. There's some football, but you'll have to wait for it. So the Arrhenius equation, which is, I'll show you the Arrhenius equation. It's this is my book of chemical reaction engineering by Levenspiel. It's actually an Eastern edition. So Arrhenius equation, should have had this ready. I'm sorry. The next time I will be, but it's not a well rehearsed talk I'm presenting. It's prepared. It's prepared. Arrhenius equation is this equation. Okay, it's best to go to the bibliography of the index. Index. Arrhenius. Arrhenius equation. Oh, 21. Oh, I had a bookmark all along. Look at me. Okay, the Arrhenius is and this is the equation. And as you can see, Arrhenius came up with this because he came up with this equation. Maybe he saw the behavior of the data, all right, under different temperature conditions. So he came up with this equation, exponential rate of growth, dependent on activation energy divided by minus R into multiplied by temperature. And he may have worked backwards because this is the particular integral for a variable separables ODE, ordinary differential equation. And you would have to say that dk by which is the kinetic constant, the change in the kinetic constant with respect to time is equal to f of minus e by rt multiplied by f of k naught, I think, or f of k, yes, dk by dt, right? So f of k. So that's and so that is how the whole solution with the graphical procedures has come up. So he worked backwards. He saw the data. So that's like a clever way of doing. So you study the data, you come up with an equation. Back in my Iron Corporation research days, MS Excel used to fit equations to data if you entered them and that sort of thing. Now it's not an option anymore. All right, maybe we need to go back to Bill Gates' time, but he's out. He's no more there. It's Satya Nadella. All right, so then you can solve this problem. So what does this ODE represent? So, if you look at it in terms of car or, running speed, car speed, acceleration plus velocity plus the distance covered is equal to a constant. Then if y is equal to e to the power x, dy by dx is of course e to the power x, d square y by dx squared is equal to e to the power x. So what in nature follows this trend of data? What fits the ODE? So these three e to the power x is equal to a constant. All right, the constant is the 3e to the power x. So what in nature? So it's a fun problem. Think about it. I'm also going to give it some thought, but it could be a project for you, even a master's project. It's a hard one, all right, because there's nothing where the distance, I thought about the treadmill, but it generates a new profile if you increase the speed, but you're stationary at all time on the treadmill. I thought, so dy by dx is, but, it generates a new profile if you increase the speed. So I'll let you think about it. Then, all right, force of electricity as in Coulomb's law. I'll turn this around. So I thought that, these two lamps together, the two lamps together, and, they could be considered, amperes is equal to coulombs per second, I think. Yeah, flow of electricity is equal to coulombs per second. So flow of electricity, right? So charges. So Q1, Q2. So one is Q1, the other is Q2, and force is equal to Q1, Q2 by D square which is between the two lamps. So of course you would get by T square also, because these are flow of electricity amperes in I format. Electricity is I. So the force generated by the two lamps can be measured. And what kind of force is this? And you can even all right, I'll come back to what I have as an aside. What is electrical force like? Is it like Newton's laws of motion? It cannot be, right? Mass is needed for Newton's laws of motion. But if I consider these two lamps and consider Coulomb's law, can I measure velocity? That's a good question. Let's take minuscule mass. It wouldn't still fit in. But magnetic force, it's a possibility, right? Magnetic force, Faraday's laws of magnetism, and Maxwell's law, and all combining all these together, and a nice purchase of Halliday and Resnick, fundamentals of physics, you can actually measure velocity of light. So that's another fun project. See, I'm being really generous. And another aside I had thought, but this is like a main thing, the Mazda Protege, as I'm fond of saying, at least 2003 model, all right, may have had the old piston and cylinder action. So V4 engine, I think it's a V4 engine. So it generates heat energy from the mechanical energy from this, how many stroke piston and cylinder engine. All right, so this is the driving force for some of it. All right, for some of the engine to run. But there's a lot more, of course. The bat, the ignition, the carburetor, etc. All right, now another point I wanted to make was consider football. And just today, all right, I'll show you my football again. NFL, I kid you not. National Football League said this is hard to play with. So I just thought I would try Tom Brady's step, the pivot, and throw it and measure the distance I've covered. My neighbor helped me out, and the couple were off somewhere, and the gentleman said, you go, or the lady will, and so she came and helped me measure, but it was past the measuring tape thing. That's a workman's measuring tape, and the first time it bounced quite a bit, so it came up to 12 meters. But I think that I threw about 10 meters, maybe 11 tops, 11 meters. All right, so one down. Yeah, I measured it. So 9 point, what's one? No, 9 point, 9 point, oh, it's on my computer. One down is 10 yards. 10 yards. No, it's not here. 9 point something is the first down. 10 yards is equal to so many meters. 9 point, rough estimate, a little more than 9 meters is the first down. So so the right thrust results in more power. All right. So I had generated about, let's say I'm 60 kilos. So 1/6 of my body in the pivot and the thrust, throwing in the throw. So how much did my arm move? Maybe 5 centimeters. So I'm a little off, or one. Technically, I didn't move my arm a lot. Maybe just threw the ball. So maybe 1 centimeter. It took maybe you could take so take 2 centimeters. So thrust is equal to 0.1 newtons. It's such a small thrust. And work is equal to thrust multiplied by distance I threw. And this is 0.1 multiplied by 10 or 11 meters, generates 1 joule. 1 joule of work energy. So what can you do with 1 joule of work energy? All right, what in nature? In nature, to lift a typical apple, 1 meter requires about 1 joule of energy. So lifting an apple 1 meter, all right, 1 meter high. And the kinetic energy of a small tennis ball, this is all good, AI generated internet material, moving at a moderate speed is also roughly 1 joule. All right, and there are other things you can look at. And I would like to say, with myself, I worked one joule. say, if you throw high, it goes farther, of course. I know this from football. So throw ball. And football, I've never played. Throw ball, round balls. So, but throw ball, so you lift it up high, it goes further ahead, and we used to always throw out. It's not pleasant in throw ball to throw out. Here also, unless you have your own wide receiver standing there, it's going to be intercepted. All right, so it's farther away is not always the right distance. Optimal force. So say Tom Brady, how much thrust would he have? Well, muscular energy. I'm a vegetarian, so more thrust, and which is to be expected, man. And work generated is more. So that's what I wanted to say. Always a little aside. This is all engineering humor, and I'm signing off for this day. Gayatri B. Sitaram. Thank you.